Hey now, ladies and gentlemen. Hey now.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Hey
Hey
now.
now.
Hey now.
Hey now. Hey now. Hey now.
Hey now.
Hey now. Hey now. And
Hey now.
oh, hey now. Welcome to a brand new edition of the line on this Fun King Friday. Yes, sir. So glad that it's the end of the week, man. Been chomping at the bit for the end of the week, dude. It's been kind of it's been a long week. Usually when we have weeks like this one, I feel like it was kind of action packed. Maybe I'm just making that up, but I feel like those weeks go by pretty fast, and this one did not. This one seemed to drag on, and I don't really know why, but that's okay because we are at the end, and we get to do all the fun stuff we do on Friday, like talk to our good friend Damien, and hopefully Matt Murphy. But we'll see how that goes because I think he's ditched us for 2 weeks in a row. But maybe he'll come back around and do the right thing by his friends here in Birmingham, you know. So he's the type of guy that, well, I guess anybody can be like this. Hell, look at Fauci. You get a little power, you get a big time up in Nashville, and then you forget about the little people over in Birmingham. So, because Matt Murphy, think about it. He sits up there in Nashville with his big professional football team, and the peons here in Birmingham, we ain't got nothing. We ain't even got a UFL team anymore. Pathetic. By the way, I want to talk some about that because the reaction has just grown and grown. Maybe it just took time for people to find out about it, but I feel like I'm hearing more and more people chatter about it, which makes you realize that more people cared about that team than we were led to believe, at least by the front offices of the UFL. But we can't talk about any of that without bringing in the one and only, even though he's only got one good knee, Sean yeah. Put your hands together. The music's so low I can hear your knee cracking.
Oh my gosh. Whew. Whew. I gave it my all, people.
That was awkward. That music was awkwardly low. I could hear every movement you were making.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah.
So the knee's getting worse.
It's getting worse.
The knee injury where you fell.
Yeah, I'm not resting it like I should, being the busy man of the world that I am.
Mm.
And this weekend I'm gonna I've gained weight, and now I can't do my exercising.
You know what the problem is? You're too worried about that goatee and not enough about the rest of your body.
I'm worried about the goatee.
Yeah.
I hadn't shaved it since I grew it. I'm just letting it go.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying you're too concentrated on being a badass instead of a healthy ass.
Well, let me tell you what. A badass, if I was a true badass, this wouldn't bother me. You know?
A true badass wouldn't be limping into work every day.
That's true. I'm trying not to limp, but it's like I have a good day, and I'm like, I'm walking, forgetting that my knee's going, ow, 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 on the inside. So then finally it has to start shouting.
Why don't you go see if you can pick up like a knee brace at Walgreens, like just one of the.
I did that, and it didn't work, so I've ordered me a specialized one from Amazon that looks kind of like a robot.
Well, at least you didn't get it from Temu.
No.
Although sometimes Amazon's not better than Temu.
No, never do Temu. Please tell me that your app there's not an app on your phone.
I downloaded the Temu app one time, and within 5 minutes, I felt like I had just downloaded a virus, so I immediately deleted it. Because it's like, you can't even look at anything. It's like, we're going to give you 12
Yeah.
items for free, and now spin this wheel 20 times. And I'm like, no.
Oh my gosh, I got $1,500 free dollars to shop with.
Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, you're going to give me $1 million simply because I downloaded the app? Come on.
Yeah, no, just go with Amazon or local. Yeah. and
I mean, why were so many people using Temu if it was that hard to use the app? I don't
It
understand.
didn't used to be.
Oh,
Back when I ordered the pleather pants from hell,
yeah.
there was none of that crap.
You were able to just get on there and order?
Yeah, I was able to get on there and order.
Mm.
So I mean, but yeah, stay away from that. I'm good with Amazon. And of course, now my favorite new place to shop, Sierra, which is like TJ Maxx owns it. It's like great deals at great prices. You know, really nice clothes for very inexpensive. And now I can't walk around and look at them.
Mm.
I might have to get like a wheelchair or something.
Yeah, you could. I mean, some of these places have little scooters. Or if
Oh,
there's a
Has it come to that?
I don't know if Sierra's has scooters, but you know, if it's near a Walmart, you can just go over there and get their scooter and ride it over to the Sierra
Oddly
store.
enough, there is a neighborhood Walmart, I think.
There you go.
I think I don't have to get on Acton Road either. I think I can just go through parking lots.
Yeah, just grab one of them, drive it over to the Sierra or whatever the store is, and do your shopping.
Man, yeah, I may be too proud for that.
Nah,
I'm not
you'll be
quite
all
ready.
right.
Give me a few more years. and
Just do it and record yourself doing it, and we'll make it into content.
as I get arrested.
You ain't gonna get arrested for using a. You see all the stupid things people do out in public these days just for content.
This is true.
Using a scooter because you got a bum knee is very mild compared to some of the crap I see.
That's right. Okay, here's what we do when I get my fancy brace that makes it look a lot worse.
Mm-hmm.
I will use that, and I will scoot all over to Walmart.
There you go.
That's what.
Hell,
I'm
I'll
gonna
go with you. I'll meet you up there, and I'll do the video, and
do. All right.
we'll video you going around and shopping in this
Yeah.
motorized scooter. Hell, half the people that are using them anyway don't even need them. Some
Yeah.
of them. I mean, we've all seen it, okay? We've all seen people using those scooters that shouldn't be on those scooters. Some of them are just overweight and need to be walking.
Yeah.
And then others, you know, I'll sometimes, depending on which Walmart I go to, I'll see people that are like in their 20s on these scooters. And I'm like, there ain't nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
Get up and walk.
Yeah. I mean, that's not right. Save it for us old folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that actually would be a good idea with you recording, because what we can do is we'll pick a time when everybody is in there, you know, bringing in new stuff and changing it out, and all the aisles are like clogged with them.
Yeah.
And you know what I'll do is I'll just drive up to them when their back's turned and just be right behind them, just wait.
Start digging through their boxes.
Yeah, until they turn around and say, can you get me? Or follow one guy around and say, can you get that for me?
Yeah.
Would you mind getting that for me?
Yeah. We'll do that. That'd be good. That'd be funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get me hey, have you ever taken chicken salad and shredded Kobe cheese and mixed them in together?
No, but I bet it would be good.
Oh, you need to do something with that with your culinary skills. Oh, man.
I mean, I can give it a shot. My mama used to make some bomb chicken salad.
Yeah, my grandma. I mean, it was just a Southern grandma mom thing, you know?
Yeah, something about it. I don't know what it was, but it was.
Man.
Maybe my mom did too. Maybe my mom got the recipe.
I think it
from
got
her.
passed down as far as our moms, and
Yeah.
then it kind of fell off. But my grandma, you know, she would not use she would not shred it. My mom would get a fork and she would shred the chicken. And you know, my grandma would go out there and wring the neck of a chicken, then cut him up, and I mean, her chicken salad was delicious, but you might find a bone or something in there.
Yeah.
You know, she just kind of chopped it.
Yeah.
You know, but it was good, and I'm sad.
Yeah, don't be sad. Don't be sad over chicken salad.
Yeah. But
Yeah, it was good. It was good. What are you doing this weekend? What'd you do last night outside of just? Did you just try to?
Well,
relax?
we had
I'm trying
this-
to think of what I did
we
last
had-
night. Oh, we had
a podcast.
We
My
were together.
gosh.
Oh, never
You
mind.
pulled a John Bird big time. boy.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And So then afterwards, I was going to help Seth because he's got to move his bees to the back of the yard.
You don't need to be doing that with your knee.
Oh no, it's not like they.
You got two. All right.
Yeah.
Pick up they been.
Thing is, they're. I don't know how
house?
that. Yes, I don't know how. It's going to like be outside and stuff, but I don't know how they're going to pull that off.
And so they
But
can't.
we got to get those bees in the back, man.
Imagine the baby. That just sounds like some sort of comedy movie.
Yes,
where
it does. I told him, I said,
bees break out during the baby shower and everybody goes running. Everybody's freaking out.
Yes, and you can only move them 2 feet at a time. I was like, dude, you waited way too late to do that. You've got 4 colonies, and we're gonna only be able to move them 2 feet each day. 2 feet each day. I said, it's just not going to happen.
No, you might as well leave them.
Yeah.
And just tell everybody that's coming, hey, there's beehives out here. So why don't you make it a themed event and everybody wears one of the beekeeper suits?
Yeah, that'd be great in August.
And the cake can say, what is the baby going to be? Is it a gender reveal or is it just a regular baby shower?
No, it's a regular baby shower.
Oh.
I recorded their gender reveal, which they've named their baby. I don't know why. They're going to wait to name their baby, so they call it the Holder Place name is Groku.
Holder Place?
Yeah.
Mean placeholder?
No, a Holder Place. That's
Holder
the French
Place.
way to do it.
Okay.
Crap, I can't even speak. But it's Groku.
Groku?
And I'm like, don't get in the habit of calling that baby Groku because you won't be able to break that habit once he gets his real name.
Yeah, because they're going to end up calling, that's going to be his nickname.
Yeah. And that's.
Is it a boy or a girl?
It's a boy.
Okay.
But Groku, come on, man.
So they.
That's. I said, that's a girl. No, she was. I knew that. Up.
Well, move them and so do they just kind of free roam out in the backyard?
Yeah. Well, not really. What they do is,
they hang around the hive.
Yeah, they're mostly inside, but there'll be forager bees or whatever you call them that will go out to pollinate. So they don't just hang around. Now they hang around really close to their own because the beehives are close together. But they don't fight. They just hang out around the house, and then they go out and forage for.
So basically,
pollen.
it's basically segregation.
Yeah,
These bees are stuck in the past.
Yeah,
back in the 60s.
Exactly. So I mean, if your pheromones aren't right, you ain't getting, like a bee can't fall in love with another bee over there. It's like, I love
the
her.
darker bees can't marry the lighter colored bees.
No. That's one thing that they're working on. They have, I've heard tale of a leader named Martin Luther B, and I'm not sure, but he may be coming to speak to the colonies.
Yeah.
I have a dreams.
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Good luck, Seth. You ain't gonna.
Don't worry. He wants you to come over.
You got 4 colonies and a friend with a bum knee. You ain't moving. You ain't moving those bee colonies.
Yeah.
They're sitting there. So I'd go with the beekeeper themed baby shower, and just have everybody wear a few extra layers of clothing.
It's going to be August 8th.
So what? Maybe that thins out the crowd. You don't have to worry about 80 people showing up.
Well, they invited so many to be guaranteed they'd have a lot. But, and then they had, oh, man, she's going to be so mad. Megan's best friend, Jessica. Not about it. Megan's fun, too. She's just as funny as Seth. And something interesting that we do now is, we have a little catchphrases and stuff. We've added in Michael Jackson noises. I don't know where that came from, but we'll be saying something and go, come on. Just out of nowhere. And it's just like.
You're out of control.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a fun time. I can't wait to see the baby shower.
All right. Let me, so maybe it could be a Michael Jackson beekeeper theme. And so as everybody wears their beekeeper suit, you can have a
Michael Jackson music
moonwalking
playing.
contest,
Yeah.
all
Oh,
kinds of
man.
stuff. All right, so we'll do the Hey Now roll call on the other side because
Oh, man.
we don't even play your song until the 10:30 spot anyway. So we'll do that when we get back. 205-545-9950. Let's get this Fun King Friday kicked off. All right, here we go. Hey Now roll call. Let's see who we got today. Early birds. Dun, 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 dun. We got Jeremiah. Hell yeah, Ricky, Bo, Sydney, Mike, Jimmy, Scott, Jen, and Shane, which puts in the number one spot today. It's none other than Ron in Gulfport, Mississippi.
And I've got an announcement to make. That young man will be our judge for next week's John Bird Plays the Guitar. Boom, just like that.
Judge?
Yeah.
So
You know, he'll pick the final four.
Oh, that's not a judge. That's a picker.
Well, yeah, but I thought
It's okay. I get what you're saying. So Ron's going to get to pick the final four. We're going to let the people vote.
yes.
And then Ron can pick the final four.
Yeah, so people just vote. You can, like, during the show and all that, and I'll post stuff as well because we've been off of it, and of course this week I'm not doing it. I tried to do it when I got home last night, and just this constant pain just kind of sucks the life out of you.
Well, yeah. So Ron, what John Bird said, and send us a song too.
Yeah, send us a song. I'll get your info from that, and we'll yap.
Cover song. by the way.
Yes, cover.
Number 2, Tommy
Tommy.
Mitchell. Bill at number 3 with the Jays. Tony Rodney. Saxon. Heath Luke, the slower mower, Trace, Bubba Rumble,
Come
Cherry,
on.
Michael, Mississippi, Dave, Jeff, Bama, Phoenix, Sonia, Taylor, Brian, Chris, Mary, Danny, Mark, and Kim. Hey now,
Whoa,
everybody.
Hey, look, you're wearing the fish tank shirt, and people are saying, J.
That's right. Actually, I hadn't worn this shirt in a while because I lost it.
You lost a lot of shirts.
I did.
You've been enjoying finding them.
I know,
It's like
I
getting
did.
new shirts.
Well, over the past couple days, Trish hadn't felt good, so I just started doing a bunch of laundry, and I started finding a lot of my shirts were
treasures everywhere.
Yeah, they were like either shoved under the bed or, they were hidden somewhere that I couldn't find. This is what happens when you take your clothes off, like when you get ready for a shower, get ready for bed, and you don't put that bad boy in the hamper.
Yeah.
You may not see it for months.
Yes. It has to be a discipline.
So I found
because I
several
sleep in
shirts.
the nude, so it's like underwear is everywhere.
Imagine those tidy whities are all over the place.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna be doing that anymore because I've got my new Egyptian cotton sheets that I'm washing today to wear tonight. So there'll be no streak stains in that bed sheet.
Wait, you've had streak stains in your bed sheets?
Not stains, just streaks.
Just streaks.
Yes.
From sleeping naked?
Man, the timer. We got to hurry. Hurry, Andrew.
All right, quick break. Bottom of the hour. Maybe we'll get Damian Mitchell in here before we get back. Who knows? If not, we'll keep it rolling because that's how we do. 205-545-9950. The line, Talk 99.5. Boy, we're going to start off slow today, huh?
Yeah, but powerful.
Great
man.
song. Don't get me wrong. I like both this one and the original.
Yeah, but 9 Inch Nails said we'll never play it live again. You heard.
It's good. Good
I
stuff.
got goosebumps. Now I'm sad. I've got sad goosebumps.
In a rare move, Trump's holding a cabinet meeting at
Yeah.
Camp David. I don't ever remember a time seeing a cabinet meeting at Camp David that was being broadcast to the country as the press is there. Usually, stuff that goes on at Camp David, they usually kind of keep that behind the scenes. But Trump has invited the press and is doing his cabinet meeting in front of everybody, and he normally does that, but it's usually at the White House. So it's actually kind of cool to see it here at Camp David. So let's dip into this live and just see what we can get out of this real quick.
Now, with the stock markets going up, but they will benefit by our country being successful. And we're going to give every child a head start on the American dream. So go to trumpaccounts.gov. They're really something the whole world's talking about it, and it's far ahead of schedule. Nobody thought it would be as successful as it's been, but it should be. It should be. And we start them off with $1,000, and this was part of the great big beautiful bill. With my most favored nation policy, you could say this is even a bigger thing, if that's possible. On drug prices, we're achieving record discounts on prescription drugs. The prescription drugs were going through the roof for many years, and now we're getting record discounts with price differences of 300, 400, 500, 600%. Nobody's ever heard of a thing like that. And what this is all about is that we had the highest prices anywhere in the world by far. Most expensive drugs, prescription drugs, and others. The highest in the world. The whole world was laughing at us. We paid for the rest of the world. We subsidized the whole world. And I said, we're not going to do that. And I started it in the first administration. I took it up. Obviously, Biden wasn't able to do anything about it because you had to get the consent of the drug companies, and you had to get the consent. More difficult would be the consent of other nations. The other nations had to agree, but they were paying a fraction, sometimes 10%, 20%, 40%, 70% less. So I had to call them and I had to get them on, and I said, if you don't do it, we're going to have to charge you tariffs. And they all said no at first, very politely said, sir, we can't do that. We're not going to double our prices. They had to double their prices, and in some cases triple their price, and we would come down. So a pill that sold for $10 in Germany would sell for $130 in New York. Same pill from the same company, the same factory, the same plant, same laboratory, from $10, and we pay $130. I say, no. Now the world is a bigger place, so it's not as bad as it sounds for them. So they went up to 20, and we came down to 20. So we now have the lowest drug prices anywhere in the world. We're tied with the lowest, but we're basically its favored nation. So we have the lowest drug prices anywhere in the world from the highest drug prices anywhere in the world. Now, what that does for your health care, I mean, I see these fake polls where the Democrats have wonderful numbers on this stuff, and they are horrible what they've done. Obamacare is a total disaster. It's a costly wreck. It's unaffordable. We call it the Unaffordable Care Act. It's a disgrace. They never even thought of being able to do something like this. They didn't even try. They didn't even try. So I got the drug companies first, and then I got the countries. And the drug companies agreed because they knew the countries wouldn't agree. And when I called Germany, France, when I called the UK, when I called all of these countries, I said, you got to do it. It's unfair. We're paying 10 times more than you're paying for the same drug. You can't do this. And they said, well, we're not going to do that because we're going to have to double our price in order to make you happy. I said, no, maybe you're going to have to triple your price. They said, well, we can't do it. I said, that's all right. If you can't do it, then I can't do something also. And I'm going to charge you very substantial tariffs, which are far more than we're talking about. And they all said, we'd love to do it. We'd love to do it. It would be a great honor to do it. So nobody else would do this. This would have never happened. So your drug prices have gone down by numbers not even thinkable. My first term, I had the privilege of having lower drug prices from the beginning of the year till the end for the first time in 28 years. You remember, And I called a news conference to announce it. So the year had ended, and I was turned out 1/8 of a percent. 1/8 of a percent. Little tiny this much. It went down that much during 1 year. First time in 28 years it went down. It was always like this, just up, more expensive. And I called a news conference. I was so proud of myself, and I said, ladies and gentlemen, the first time in 28 years drug prices have gone down from January till the end of December. And I want to just congratulate everybody for being a part of this wonderful experiment. And 1/8 of a point. Now we're talking about 400, 500, 600% coming down. We pay the lowest drug prices anywhere in the world from the highest. So, you know, and I'll say it again and again because the press doesn't want to report it, the fake news doesn't want to report it. They don't want to talk about it. What that does for healthcare, Bobby, is unbelievable because medicine's a big part of healthcare. So I wish that people would understand that, and I hope they're going to vote for us in the midterms because you'll see some stuff that will be horrible because they can blow it very fast if they don't know what they're doing. So your drug prices are great. You know, I saw Spain yesterday, and I watched the catastrophe that took place. It looks like an invasion of a country by hundreds of thousands of people. And that same thing's going to happen to us if the Republicans don't get elected, except worse. Much bigger, much easier to get into, despite the fact that we have built thousands of miles of wall, which I said we were going to do. But we didn't have that, forget it. But we have the safest border in the world. If we're not in office, our country will be invaded at levels that made Spain look small time. And when I watched it, I said, boy, I said, I'm going to say it because I knew you were going to be at Camp David. And I say, that's going to be a talking point for the midterms. Because when you look at what happened to Spain, they don't know what to do. And it's happening again today. They're coming in by the tens of thousands. They're just invading the country. And what that is weak law, bad management, but very liberal law. They passed a couple of laws, and people read. You know, people are smart. They read from other countries, and they swam that 3-mile swim, or however they got in, but nobody's seen anything like it. That will look good compared to what's going to happen to the United States. The biggest thing, the worst thing that Biden did is allowing 25 million people into our country, because many of those people are criminals. They're murderers. A lot of murder. 11,888. A lot of them are gone now. We got them out. But they allowed people to come into this country that you can't allow to come into a country. We're also making an unprecedented investment in the United States Armed Forces, where we're doing great. And we rebuilt the armed forces. We rebuilt our military in my first term. But we are doing great with our military. They spent a lot of money in our military. They gave away $300 billion worth of ammo and everything else in Biden's term. But we're building it up fast, and we just have a great military. That's all there is to it. But we rebuilt it in my first term, and we're using it in my second term with Venezuela and other places, and Iran now. Iran is doing very poorly. Just in case you read incorrect stories, they're doing very, very poorly. They're having a hard time. They've been very dishonest. They've been very dishonorable to deal with. But that makes no difference. They're doing very, very poorly. We're also making that investment and looking forward to getting $1.5 trillion next year. People see now how important it is. We want to keep a safe country. We have to keep a safe country. And the good news is all of that equipment is made in the USA. So we're making it here. It's jobs. And each one of our defense groups are building literally at least 4 new massive plants as we speak, because we want them to move faster. We have the best equipment in the world, but we want them to move faster. We don't want to wait a year or a year and a half. We want to wait a week, maybe. So that's happening, and I think the results are very good. They're building at levels that nobody's ever seen before. And we've had tremendous success, and our military was just proud of it. Again, Venezuela was a one-day war, and we have a great relationship with Venezuela. We're working with partners with Venezuela now, taking out tens of millions of barrels of oil and going to Houston, going to Alaska, going to Louisiana, going to different places for refineries, and it's been very much amazing. The administration has done more in 18 months than most administrations have done in 8 years if you had a two-termer. We've done more in 18 months than anyone's ever seen before. Nobody's ever seen. This is the golden age of America. And we have a war that's going on. I guess you call it a war. Maybe I call it a military operation, because they have no Navy. It's been obliterated. Their Air Force has been obliterated. They have no planes. Their missiles have been largely, they have some left. They have some, but they have far fewer than they had 4 or 5 months ago. Their manufacturing capacity is almost gone. The drone capacity is almost gone. There are very few, but they have some. If they have one, that's too many as far as I'm concerned. But we've done an amazing job with Venezuela. We've done an amazing job here. We're in there for 5 months. You know, I know what people like to say, because we did a much bigger job, much more important job than we originally anticipated. So we're in there for 5 months, and if you look at Vietnam, they were in there for 20 years. You look at Afghanistan, they were in there for many years. You look at any one of the wars, Korea, any one of them, they're in there for many years. We're in for 5 months, and we have obliterated their military capacity. Again, they've got some left, but soon they won't have some left. So I just want to thank everybody around this table. You've been very special. I want to thank a lot of the media people, because many of you have been very, very fair and that's one of the reasons you're here, frankly. But you've been very fair. You've covered me this time, I mean, much more fairly, I think, than the first term. The first term was a great success. We had the greatest economy in history in the first term, and this term is going to blow it away. I think this term is going to actually blow it away. So it's an honor to have you, and I'd like to ask our great Vice President, J.D. Vance, to say a few words, followed by Marco and Pete and Scott and Bobby Kennedy. Okay? Thank you very much, everybody. Please, J.D.
Well, great. Thanks, Mr. President. First of all, thanks for having us at this historical and beautiful place.
All right,
And,
so we'll dip into this and take a quick break, and that way we can stay on track. He will probably go through around the whole table, and it's a big table, so I don't know that we're going to be able to hang with the whole thing. But what he traditionally will do is let each cabinet member speak and then kick it over to the press, let them ask a few questions, and then he'll boot them out, and they'll get down to business. We'll at least bring you the questions from the press, and maybe depending on who's talking, I wouldn't mind hearing what Marco Rubio and Pete Hegseth have to say. So we may pick up on that as well. 205-545-9950. Let's keep it rolling right here on the line, baby. Hang tight. I just came across a killer metal song called Fish Sticks. They're singing about fish sticks.
Uh-huh.
And it's like this one guy, and he like before it hits the big breakdown,
Uh-huh.
he this guy farts. And it's like,
Oh my gosh.
and then they start screaming about fish sticks or something. And I don't know what the lyrics are yet, but
I haven't had fish sticks in a long time. I might have those tonight.
I had Guinness beer battered fish fillets last night that I got from Costco. Put them in the air fryer.
God, how
They're
am I
not
gonna
as
get
good.
in
They're not as good as the beer battered cod fillets from Sam's, which that's the only reason we have a Sam's membership is to get those. But Costco's got a couple different beer battered fillets. All right, here's Marco Rubio talking. Let me hear what he has to say real quick because he's got some important stuff.
I don't consider neo-Nazis right wing. I consider them Nazis, right? But you're going to get a lot of attention on that. But if it's a leftist group, an Antifa group, that gets no coverage, or they ignore the ideological spin and the ideological reason behind it. So we've got 60 countries came up here and hopefully creating a strong coalition to go after far left violent terrorism. Go after it and call it by name, and I think we're building a very strong coalition there. We've had some successes in the Middle East, Mr. President, as you know, in the diplomatic front. The deal with Lebanon and Israel is unprecedented. President Ayoun was here a week ago. I think that was the first visit by a Lebanese president in over 30-some odd years. In fact, this is the first time the Israelis and the Lebanese government have spoken at the official level in close to 30 years. And that was thanks to your leadership. A lot of work to be done to keep that peace and build on it, but it's a real achievable. And of course, as you announced last night, Mr. President, this disarmament deal that you brought about with Steve and Jared's work on Hamas is another big step as well. It's something a lot of people thought would never happen. It needs to happen, but the fact that they even agreed to it is real achievable. Last point is on the Western Hemisphere. For the first time in 15, 20 years, the overwhelming majority of the countries in the Western Hemisphere are now led by pro-American leaders and pro-American governments. It's an extraordinary achievement. All of it happening through virtually every election that's happened in the Western Hemisphere since you were elected president has elected someone who is pro-American. And I think this is an incredible situation. And last but not least, and I have to thank a number of agencies here, particularly the Department of War, after that terrible earthquake in Venezuela, within 36 hours, the full force of the American government was on the ground providing humanitarian assistance. It was a sight to behold. The USS Ford, I think, was in their port. Our Marines and armed service personnel were helping run their airport and their tower. It is one of the fastest, most dramatic, and most effective humanitarian responses, certainly in recent history, if not ever. And they came at the direction of the president. In fact, within an hour of that earthquake hitting, I remember because I was overseas, the president called and said, make sure we go in there and help these people recover from this. And we did. And thanks to your leadership, Mr. President. It's a great story. Enough needs to be told about it because the credit goes to so many agencies represented here today, but really the Department of War's effort was phenomenal. So thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Marco. And just before we continue, I want to just congratulate Jay Clayton. He's with us today, as you know. He just had a big victory. He's going to do a fantastic job. He's only done his whole life has been about doing a fantastic job. Congratulations.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, for the invitation, the opportunity to be here. It's an honor for the War Department to help run this facility, also from the food to the fence line. It's an honor to have you, and it's great Americans here and all around the country and all around the world who are the core of what keep us safe. But in order to do that, you have to have a leader that's willing to put them in a position to do it. And that's my takeaway, Mr. President, is sort of 3 points. One, it takes courage. 2, it takes restoring a spirit, which you have done. And 3rd, it takes investment, and not just an investment, but a generational investment. And I think people miss that. The courage it takes to seal the border, to say we're going to do it, and we're going to do it every single day, and we're going to do it on behalf of the American people. The courage to bomb the Houthis and say we will maintain freedom of navigation. I wonder why they're not involved in this conflict, the Houthis, even though they're a proxy of Iran, because they felt the weight of American power for 45 days, and you had the courage to do that. The courage to do Midnight Hammer and conclude the 12-day war by obliterating their nuclear sites, something other presidents had the option on their table to do, but they never pulled the trigger because of the complications, because of the challenges, because of the risk. Courage. Courage to take on the cartels and drugs, drug boats, and now forming the ACCC, the America's Counter Cartel Coalition, with all those friendly governments that Marco talked about who want to be shoulder to shoulder, not just with America, but with a bold, strong America with clear leadership. The courage to go get Maduro in the most dangerous, most heavily guarded house, inside the most heavily guarded fort, inside the most heavily guarded town in their capital city in the middle of the night, and change the entire dynamic of that country and that region. And the world saw what the American military was capable to do, but that doesn't happen unless the commander-in-chief says you're authorized to do it, and will take the handcuffs off when you do it to ensure that Americans come home. The courage to undertake epic fury and this Iranian regime and ensure they never have a nuclear weapon, which remains your commitment. And frankly, the courage to negotiate with people that have shown no willingness to do so honestly, with incredible negotiators who are the best in the world, and give them every opportunity to do it, give those things up peacefully. All of that takes guts. But that comes on the backs of a change in the spirit of our department. You talk about spirit all the time, and you're right to do so. When you rip out DEI, when you rip out social engineering,
all right, let me hop in.
And you put it
We're going to hit
together.
this break. Come back on hour number 2. I want to point out a couple things as you hear Pete Hegseth is talking about some of the things that they've accomplished with the Department of War. But Marco Rubio pointing out the response in Venezuela from the U.S. after that major earthquake. Think about that. And think about how grateful the Venezuelan people have to be for this country. We get rid of Maduro, and we don't take out their leader and just say, figure it out on your own. We're there to back them up. We're there to help them, and they're living a far better life now than they ever